My name is Mari Player, and our farm is called Berwick Wood Produce. It's called that because it's based at Berwick Wood and Hatton-a-Fintry. It's made up of 31 hectares of land, 19 of which is in trees, and 2.89 which is in, at the moment, vegetable growing in a variety of undercover, such as polytunnels and caterpillar tunnels, and a no-dig market garden. We have between 30 and 40 veg box customers who pay through the website, and we try to be good at giving them a preview of what they're going to get for that week, and they can make any changes to orders on there. So that's our kind of direct selling model. We also supply to 2 food hubs in the area, 3 independent shops and 2 cafes at the moment. We plan to increase the enterprises quite soon by adding forest raised pigs, and we're looking at a slightly different business model of going towards a shared farm, so looking at different enterprises and being able to have trainees and people that can then work as part of the shared farm and make a living from local food. When we started this was literally just a woodland. It didn't have a road, it didn't have any power, it didn't have any water, it didn't have any shelter, and all of that we've had to find money for ourselves and build ourselves. It's easier to get land that way than if you're trying to buy, certainly in this area, large farmland. So it's quite an interesting set out of land to have a mature woodland with so many open spaces. Other challenges is, I suppose, working within regulations and with different things, different people, because we have 2.89 hectares which is agricultural land, and we have 30 hectares otherwise which is forestry, and so working within those 2 organisations is quite difficult because we'd like to do more agricultural stuff within the forest, but we can't. Just physically not being here for us, not being able to live on site, that's a major challenge. It uses a lot of time, it makes our life very difficult to be flexible, and we've definitely lost crop and things because we're not here. And it's quite exhausting as well, because you have to kind of have a really long day while you're here, kind of cram everything in, because you know you can't always come back later, because that's a lot of travelling, a lot of cost to drive back and forward. I did some mentoring, and that's quite good, and you can do mentoring for different things. So you can do mentoring for, like, I did some mentoring last year for marketing, and that was really helpful, and I also did some mentoring with Nourish when I started, and that was a course called Making a Living from Local Food, so that was really useful. Having the trees here is a big advantage for the land. One of the advantages is that obviously it's a financial crop, so having been able to thin the trees or fell some of the trees gives us then the money to put in the pigs, and then the pigs will give us the money to put more trees back in. So there's that kind of financial thing, but they also are providing some diversity and some shelter. So we get some shelter for this area, and the polytunnels from the big bank of trees that's over there, but they don't really block the light here, but they do provide shelter from the wind. They also provide a lot of biodiversity, so we have a lot of nesting birds, which is really good. We have pine wood up the back where there is red squirrels and nesting buzzards, which obviously are very helpful for help a little bit with keeping the vole and mice population down, etc. So yeah, and we also can use it for different things. We've got an ability to make some planks from it, and we can cut some trees and use that as a source of planks for compost boxes and things like that. We've seen a real rise in the biodiversity on the farm. We had about 2 species of dragonfly, now we have 10. You know, we're seeing more butterflies, we're seeing real improvement in the soil and the invertebrates and all those things, and it's that inspires me to keep going. I think that it does really matter how land is looked after and what happens on it. And I think it is really important that people can have access to food that doesn't destroy the planet, that really helps improve soil, and I think, you know, having better local food systems is really important for the future.